And welcome back to the Survivor 49 review here on Mucky Hope Productions. It is me, Coach Drew, joined as always by Vee, and we have Jake joining us shortly. Vee, how have you been?
Not too bad. You know, as you can see in my background, we're starting to get Christmassy. And I don't know if you can notice, but that's a cat.
Oh, it's a cat. Okay. I would have just thought it was a blanket if you hadn't poked.
Yeah. If you poke him, he moves. So
Is it a new cat?
Newish.
Oh.
It's been around a couple of months.
Okay.
So.
I don't think I ever noticed. I don't know how long the cat has been in the room, but I haven't noticed the season.
It's a different spot every time. You just haven't noticed.
We sadly had to take last week off, and we really don't like.
My fault.
Oh no, it was all like I was gone too.
Good.
But we don't have to talk too much about because we do want to get to episode 9. Briefly talking about episode 8, I do think that it continued a very pretty much since the last episode before the merge, a great stretch of episodes that we've been getting. What did you think about episode 8? What did you think about the twist of both tribes splitting up, but only one tribe going to tribal? And what did you think about MC being ultimately the one that goes home?
Look, I do like these in terms of twists and changing things up. I like the way that it's happening where it seems to enhance the gameplay rather than restrict it. But it was rough. It was rough to go to tribal with only 5 people.
It's technically 6.
Well, technically 6. I continue to be impressed by Savannah. I continue to be impressed by Rizzo. I think the fact that 3 is still, the fact that Rizzo is still there and didn't need to play an idol is a huge testament to his game. That is absolute talent. So I thought that was very cool. It was cool seeing Sophie taking a bit of a lead when it came to discussions. I thought that was really cool to see. I don't have, when you talk next, I'll put up my notes, but I thought it was interesting. You know, I always thought if Rizzo, Soph, and Savannah can get themselves out of the predicament they found in, that I'd be very impressed. So I'm very impressed.
Yeah, and that's not even talking about the most recent episode, just talking about episode 8. You know, the fact that they were able to get out without playing any of their advantages, winning immunity, that's going to continue to episode 9, and this storyline of Savannah and Rizzo being a duo continues to just, people are saying it in every episode and almost every confessional, hey, we should probably do something about this. And it still hasn't been taken care of. Related to even Joe from previous season, as far as this is, everyone and their mother can see what this is. How have we not done anything about it? And they say it at the beginning of episode 9 how much power they actually have between the 3 of them, because they have 3 advantages. They're on the bottom because they're on the wrong side of the vote, but in reality, they are running the game, in a manner of speaking.
Really are.
They haven't had to play anything, and now we're at 8 by the end of episode 9. Am I right in saying we're at 8?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, when was the last time you saw someone control the game from the bottom?
Never. I don't think.
You know, it's crazy. It's really good, and it's because they're able to bank their special treats in such a clever way. It's really impressive to watch. I am super impressed. I'm sad to lose MC. I think that she was a bit of there's no one else that is safe to get out. I thought the other thing I noticed, it's interesting. Oh, sorry. Here's Jake. Hello.
Hey.
What's up, Jake?
Hey.
What's up?
What I think is interesting about episode 8, when they were all deliberating, Sage's name is the only name not to come up. And I think that's interesting as well on Sage's part. everyone else was in the firing line at one point or another, but we never heard anyone talking about, what about Sage?
Which is weird because she is a main character. She has been out in the open with a lot of stuff this season. Just some of the things that she says, even like not even game related. Just some of the things she says has weirded out some folks to the point where you would think, hey, let's maybe think about getting rid of this person. She's had rivalries with multiple people at this point, and as you know, we'll talk about this when we talk about episode 9 in a second. She has been clocked as being in her own duo, the duo that the trio is trying to make seem like they are the ones running the whole thing, when in reality that's not the case. Jake, all we really talked about so far is what were your just overall thoughts on episode 8, and what did you think about MC being the one that gets voted out?
Yeah, I mean, it felt like everything just fell apart, right, for the Hina folks, and we saw it even more so in episode 9 that we'll get to. I mean, it looks so good for them coming in after the, voting out Nate. I mean, they had their chance to get rid of, Rizzo and Savannah, and they didn't take it. They took the safe option. I think that the show is sort of trying to kind of subtly tell us, like, at least in this season, like, you should not be playing safe. You shouldn't be, don't play both sides. Don't, go out there and play and make big moves and get yourself on season 50, and I think we kind of saw that also from MC. So scared of, pissing off Jawan. I understand, I'm not saying it was like the dumbest move in the world, to tell him about it. Like, you want to keep that trust, especially when he feels like she had just broken it. But I think it kind of ties back into, like, this season, like, players are being rewarded for not playing safe and making big moves.
And Rizzo outright tells Jawan, like, hey, like, when Juwan's on the fence, or at least we're being shown as on the fence, and Rizzo's like, why would you want to work with this person when she didn't even bother to tell you about them? I'm like, that's such a shit stir moment and it's so great. Like, the more the season progresses, the more I enjoy Rizzo. Because I myself am a shit stir. But like, just in that moment, just like, yeah, that is such a, and yes, people have used the phrase plot armor when it comes to specifically him and Savannah. I do think that, yeah, it does kind of suck the air out a little bit whenever one of their names are brought up. But I will say that in the last 2 episodes, I have thought, oh, if either one of them go home now, they would be on my short list to make 50 anyway. So it's not that big of a deal if they were to go home here. I don't see it happening, and as we've seen,
feels more believable when their name's actually brought up.
Yes, because of how late we are into the season. What was it? Tiffany was 8th boot, or not 8th place.
Yeah.
So we could see one of them go home next week. And it'd be like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. And now, all of a sudden, Final 7, some of us will be thinking that the other person will, clearly they'll win. But who's to say? Any final thoughts on anything that happened in episode 8 before we get to the big stuff of 9?
I'd love to know what MC was. She said she wanted to ask Rizzo something at Tribal and pulled everyone. I'd love to know what her Hail Mary was, what she was trying to do.
No subtitles there. I feel like recently they've been giving us subtitles whenever there's like whispers happening, but not there. I was like, okay, no idea.
I was really hoping to find out.
Yeah. Did you guys talk about Christina finding the idol?
No. Oh, we did not.
We got
Jake, you want to take head on that?
That's right.
Yeah, I think that was in episode 8.
It was an
yes.
episode.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's hilarious how, like, literally everyone was like, well, that sucks. Like, I feel like no one was really that happy about it. Like they were in the sense of like, thank God, like Savannah or Rizzo didn't find it, but like they felt like of our alliance, like she was the worst person to find it. You know, I just found that to be kind of funny. And like, yeah, kind of the last person I would have expected to end up getting an idol.
Yeah. Well, now we have 4 advantages. We have 4 or 5 advantages. 4 or 5 advantages left in the game now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we haven't really seen them be played, and I think it's obviously going to lead to some type of craziness, probably at Final 7, maybe even later. And I'm really interested to see how that goes. The other big thing with 8 that we'll use to transition to 9 is Savannah does win individual immunity and saves an advantage of having an extra vote or
the extra vote now, yeah.
Saving an extra vote for later in the game, which brings us to episode 9 with...
Wait. I have one last thing before we go. Did no one seem to clock that there were only 5 votes? Because MC there was 1 vote for Sophie, MC got 3 votes, and Jeff said that was enough. So if they were because they didn't know that Savannah had a choice, that should have been he kept on counting because Sophie could have gotten 3 votes. But no one seemed to question why
there were
Jeff
6 of them. There were 6 of them, so 3 isn't enough unless multiple other people unless there are 5 votes or other people received multiple votes and 3 was a plurality. But that's something like
I definitely didn't think about that.
They're too hungry and tired to go.
This is what like
wait,
I'm a math guy. I feel like if Steven were if Steven were in that tribal, he would have clocked that immediately.
He would have gone.
The engineer in both of us would have been like, wait a second.
Yeah. Someone didn't vote.
Yeah.
Who didn't vote? Why
either
didn't someone vote?
Someone didn't vote. Either I'd be like, wait, did like somebody find like I don't even know. Do they do beware advantages after the merge? I don't even.
Well, that's what I would think. I would think someone had a beware advantage.
Yeah, like hasn't found it yet.
Because, or it could be something like. I feel like everyone would, if it were to be clocked, I think it would be Savannah that would be like the. Obviously, we know that she's the culprit, but I think that everyone would look at her.
Yeah.
She stands out because of the circumstances of why she's even at the tribal in the first place.
Well, they might even think she was bluffing about having a vote.
True. Yeah. That's
that she didn't actually have a vote, but she said she did just to save Rizzo, basically.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But we get to episode 9. We get back to camp. Sophie is a tad peeved that it seems like everyone was expecting her to be gone. Sophie, who's starting to get this weird edit that we've seen a lot of times throughout the Survivor history where it's like everyone's telling us that Sophie's a threat. We haven't seen much to tell us that, but I'm just taking everyone's words for it. And so Sophie's annoyed that people kind of expected her to go. And we get this Savannah Riz God conversation where they realize, hey, we have all these advantages. Hey, yeah, we're on the bottom. Hey, these 2 are tight. What do you guys think about this trio? Do you think that it has legs for maybe the whole season? Do you think they have legs for at least one more week?
For sure.
Yeah.
They have 3. They have an extra vote, so that's 4. This is final 8, right?
Yep.
So they can at least force a tie. All they need is one more, and they have a majority. So, they got legs, and I'm gonna make a bold prediction. I think Sophie's gonna steal Christina's idol. I think someone is gonna leak it, thinking, "Oh, surely, this won't backfire."
Yeah, it's impossible.
And I think that it's going to get stolen. I think that's what. Did you guys watch The Next Time On?
I didn't do it this
dramatic.
Yeah, so the jury, it shows like a very quick clip of the jury like gasping and being like, whoa, holy crap. I think it's Sophie or Soph, excuse me, stealing Christina's idol.
Okay.
And I don't know who, I mean, we already saw Steven told Sage. Does Sophie already know? I don't know. You would think, right? I mean, but
Christina,
were they already on the other beach when she found it?
I think Christina, according to my notes, Christina only told Steven and Alex, and I didn't see any of them pass it on.
Yeah, except for Steven to Sage. Just this
episode. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. But Sage did say, she's like, I'm not like, I'm actually gonna like keep this secret. Like, I don't want to mess up this relationship I've got with Steven. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe Steven tells someone else. I don't know. But I think it's gonna happen some way.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna happen. I think it is. And so I don't know. Like, I don't know how they're gonna use it. Is she just gonna pocket it and kind of do what Rizzo's been doing and just be like, I have an idol. I dare you to vote for me.
That would be really interesting if she stole it to not even save herself in the game, but just because she can.
Right.
That would be
it's like when you find out, like,
move.
I know for sure that this person has it. Like, so I've got to seize that opportunity,
Yeah.
Because
before she uses it.
Yeah, because thank the Lord, she hasn't told anybody about it. And that we have seen it backfire every single time, because somebody always tells, I have the knowledge is power. And so guess what? They go and tattle to the person who has the advantage, and then they give it to somebody else. And when they ask them, no, I don't have it because I gave it to somebody else, So I want to see it finally work. And I think it's going to.
I think it will too. I'd be cool if it happened. Oh, well, I want to talk about, we'll talk about that at the end of the episode, but the optics thing that we're kind of dealing with right now. Rizzo and Savannah are once again clocked as a duo by Alex this time. And it's kind of said that it's Rizzo and Savannah versus Juwan and Sage. Spoilers, none of those people go home in this episode. But we also get this moment with Alex and Rizzo, where Rizzo is sitting there, from how it's shot, observing Alex play the middle by just how the conversation is going. And I once again think this is such a great showing by Rizzo, in this one scene of like the entire storyline of this episode is not these two duos going after each other. It's Rizzo trying to tell people, hey, this man is playing the middle and we're just kind of letting him do it while also trying to keep himself safe. But let's go after this guy right now. What did you guys think about the scene and just Rizzo overall?
He sees everything. He sees everything. He clocks everything and he says everything. It's incredible to watch. I think this is where a super fan playing actually pays off, where we can actually... He's looking for all the tropes. I mean, Sophie is playing the game that Alex wishes he was playing. Mm-hmm. Sophie is actually successfully playing not even the middle, like the top and dipping down a little bit, or bottom dipping up, depending, because she is so close to Savannah and Rizzo, especially Savannah, but yet everyone tells her everything. And that is the position Alex was trying and unsuccessfully to be in. As soon as Rizzo clocked it, I was like, he sees everything. Nothing gets past him. And he's got a big mouth and he's actually living up to his big mouth. I thought it was a thing of beauty from Rizzo.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome. He's pretty damn good at this game so far, man.
Who would have thought?
It's pretty, it's so easy to see why he was put on 50. This is just, I don't even care if he goes home next episode. He's already kind of proved his worth, of being there, because these last two rounds have just been top notch. Like, he literally seizes every single little opportunity that he possibly can find of weaseling his way up and up and up and up. I mean, we saw last episode, one more thing to add on to it was he, like, seriously, they go into that split tribal, and it's like, yeah, unless Rizzo plays his idol, like, he's screwed.
Yeah.
By the end of it, before they go to tribal, he's telling someone else, like, okay, you need to vote with me, and here's why. And they're, like, sitting there, like, at his mercy, basically.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, how does that happen? And it's because obviously it's because other people there made mistakes, but he did not squander those mistakes. He sees every little mistake everyone else makes and capitalizes on it. And we saw that here with Alex. He noticed, like, who does everyone hate? Flip-floppers and people, trying to play both sides. And kind of like I was saying earlier, like, loyalty and, like, putting your foot in the sand and saying, this is where I stand. I think that pays off in this season. People do not like trying to play both sides. And Alex totally got punished for it by Rizzo.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting as well that Rizzo said, it doesn't matter to me if I'm 4th or 8th. Mm-hmm. And he's definitely playing like that where...
For sure.
Yeah, he's not doing that. I'm just trying to get to another day. I'm going to use my idol, all that stuff. Like, he's taking the risks based on 8 or 4, it doesn't matter. I'm not trying to get to be the 7th out or the 6th out.
Yeah, I think we've gotten to the point where he sort of said, like, we just need to make it past this. And then I'll be, I don't think he explicitly said this, but the way I interpreted it was like, then I'll feel much more comfortable playing my idol because then we'll at least have the numbers, right?
Yes.
If they vote for him here at this next tribal and he plays his idol and they get somebody out, they're set. They have the extra. They have the extra vote. They have the numbers. Whereas if he would have played it last tribal. Then okay, yeah, he made it one more round, but no more leverage, no more advantage of having the idol and being like, I've got it. Like, I could play it or I could not. Like, I dare you to try to vote for me. Like, and yeah, he's playing it really well. Like, this is how about as well as you can use a public immunity idol.
And I keep looking at him and Savannah, whether we knew they were going to win 50 or not. I'm looking at them as probably like a Dom Wendell type situation where I do feel like both of them have been doing a lot. Both of them have been clocked as a lot, and both of them realistically could make their way to the end. I think that Sophie is in that. Honestly, if the 3 of them were to make it, I think Sophie could, or Soph. I think Soph could potentially pull out a win over the 3. Like, I think that any one of that 3 could win. I don't think there's anyone that's like tagging along or anything like that. I think they're all doing what they need to do to keep moving forward in the game, and all of them are getting pretty good edits with that kind of stuff too. Like, no one is being portrayed as less than, which I think that will eventually pay off. And so my next question would be, do we think that at any point, any of the 3 of them are going to flip on each other?
No.
Not including 4. Let's take fire out of the situation. So from now until 5.
Yeah. No, I think I believe them when they say they're the final 3 and they're going to stand by that. I know that Soph has said that she's willing to cut Savannah and Rizzo loose. I don't think she's going to be in an opportunity where she needs to anymore. So I don't think she will. I think if things had been a bit more dire, maybe, but no, not now.
Jake?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they're going to cut each other. I think that they're each going to feel confident enough in their games over each other's that I just don't feel like they'll feel the need.
Yeah, I think I would be fine if they didn't. Like, I don't think that makes it boring. I think it makes it more interesting because we rarely see that kind of thing actually happen where people don't decide to say, oh, I got to make this big move and get rid of this person. I think that if all three of them go to the end as pretty big players, with Soph kind of having, like you mentioned earlier, Vee, of playing the middle, sort of, well, not even sort of, like playing the middle and not being clocked. Because her name did come out in this episode. Like,
got written down.
Yeah, people thought about going after her. I think that if they were to make it to the end, it would be a great storyline, and it would obviously make sense why two of those people make it to the next season. We can kind of skip the reward challenge unless anyone has anything they wanted to really talk about.
Oh, I thought that was sweet. That I love the. I mean, I love Joanne.
I was going to bring up the Joanne thing after the reward challenge. But,
okay. Yeah. But that was sweet. I thought that was really sweet.
In my notes, I just said Uncle Jay allows Christina to switch with Joanne.
Am I crazy? Has he before been like, no, you can't. You want it. You have to take it.
It hasn't always been like that. He has done both, though. Like
that's where I was. Yeah, I'm like, I feel like there was a time where he said, no, you can't. But yeah, I feel like this has been done before where he did allow it. But I think, yeah, he's done both. So it's interesting that that's changed. I think this makes for better TV. So
I agree.
Everyone loves a crying moment.
Yeah,
and we have had. We haven't had a bunch, but in the last two episodes, we have had those. I mean, obviously, we learned about Savannah's. What happened at her job, and that was a really sweet moment. And in this episode, she tells Soph what she does for a living. I don't think Soph is going to tell people. I don't think that is a big deal either. But I'm not out there playing, so I can't. Say what is and what is not a big deal. But Juwan is able to go on the reward challenge. We once again get Chicken Gate in a scene. We have Steven with the chickens this time. And every time the chickens are brought up, I just immediately think of you two. So
more chicken content. Chicken content.
We have had more chicken content this season than Ko-Rong, I'm assuming. Like I'm thinking, it's very possible that we've had more chicken content this season than Ko-Rong. And there was a main character that seaon.
Literally made it to Final Travel.
Literally made it to Final Travel, and the reunion. So Sage and Christina are talking, and Sage brings up weird Sage things, talking about how she saves blackheads. And the types of the people that she kind of wants to go after. We're over halfway done with the season. What are y'all's thoughts on Sage?
I'm surprised she hasn't been targeted more. I think her time is coming to be targeted. I think she's doing a good sort of seemingly under the radar kind of moment. She's got her alliance. I'm curious about Sage.
Yeah, I agree. Given that, like, the merge vote, her and Juwan were, equally, vital in kind of tipping that vote over to the Hina folks, and now, she was involved in the tribal where MC left, and now like she's very like pivotal in these votes. Like without her vote, like a lot of these can't be happening. And she pretty notably like flipped on her old people, and given that she's not getting a ton of like content, like she's not getting nothing, there's we saw like she still kind of has a thing with Steven, so much so that like Steven feels like that she's his number one, which I find very interesting. I know your number one didn't vote with you this tribal, so I'm a bit curious about her too. I don't know where exactly it's leading. I'm afraid that it might end up being a little bit anticlimactic of an ending for her. But I hope not too, but yeah.
And speaking of Steven, we get to the immunity challenge, and I wrote down science time with Steven. This
Love
is
that.
A callback to Christian and David versus Goliath. And I enjoyed that scene. I enjoyed this scene. And I think that it flowed well with the challenge. Every now and then someone would drop, and Steven ultimately wins for the men, and Savannah wins her second immunity in a row for the women, which can only put more target on her. Now, what we didn't bring up right before this is the plan is to split the vote on Rizzo and Savannah. Because people have finally smartened up to, hey, we should probably
Rizzo and Soph.
No, I thought it's Savannah at first because
before she won immunity.
Oh, before she won immunity, yeah.
But yeah, after she won immunity, they had to switch it to Soph.
Yeah.
And now we're at the situation where now Savannah has won these 2 immunities. She's already been clocked as a strategic threat, and we know that she's socially good with a lot of people. Is she the one that gets cut between the two? Like, not by her group, but like, I've been saying all season, I think Savannah is going to be the winner of the season. But her trajectory right now is she better keep on winning, or this, that, and the other, or they will just get rid of her. Do you feel like Savannah is too big of a threat early-ish in this merge, or do you think that she can somehow lessen it as it continues?
I think she can, because I think that Rizzo is stealing a lot of it from her. And I also feel like that, I don't think it's a given that, well, maybe if she's not at the end with either Rizzo or Soph, I feel like she's at least at this point, she's a pretty obvious contender there. But I feel like, people have kind of stated they think she's kind of a mean girl, and, people don't win Survivor unless they're pretty well liked, so that's definitely something going against her, even though they may, admit that she's playing the game well, they may not really like her personally. So I think that I agree with you that I think it's likely, or it's a very, very possible that she could win, especially given that she's on 50. I think that boosts her likelihood, by a bunch. But I don't think it's a given, and I think a lot of people are discounting that of like, should just making it to the end. There's a chance that she, is kind of rejected for, thinking that she's kind of mean.
Well, and
Gabe says that as well. Sorry to interrupt. Hello, Gabe. Savannah as a winner is interesting by the edit. She's getting like the villain edit, similar to Jenna Maraska in game players calling her mean girl, and confirmed in exit interviews like MC.
See, I didn't know. I didn't know that even in exit interviews they were saying that. So it's
interesting.
My thing with that is, like, I do agree. The only mean girl thing that we've really seen her do in front of everyone is when she like sat over MC while she was looking for the idol.
Yeah, that was pretty messed up.
Yeah, but like, I
that's
wonder,
just playing the game, or maybe I'm a mean girl too.
If it's an editing trick of like, hey, let's not show her doing all this mean girl stuff because she wins. Because like both of y'all have said, and based off what the exit press says, yeah, there was this perception that she was, but we're not actually seeing a lot of that mean girl side. So does that mean that they are trying to hide that because we have to give her more of a positive edit because she wins? I know I'm like big braining it right now, but
that's definitely possible. That they might be hiding, at least the moments in which she's being a mean girl, but they're not hiding people calling her one. So
true.
That's what is interesting to me, because it's one thing to show her acting a certain way, but it's another thing to have other players explicitly state how they perceive her. So
yeah, I mean, if we talk about Sophie and how she's being clocked as a threat, even though
we haven't really seen like much.
At least she's getting content now. At least she's getting content.
We know the chickens.
We learned her last name this episode. She's Italian. Probably.
Pretty good guess, based on her last name.
So, like V mentioned earlier, now it becomes one of the plans is let's split the vote between Rizzo and Soph. Which at that point in the episode, I'm like, oh no, does Soph go home here? Like, I think it might still be a week too early for Rizzo, probably, but does Soph go home here? And by the end of it, and I would say if I had one negative with the episode, it would be for it to be Alex in an episode where it's clocked that he's the middle person in this episode, and then he's just dealt with at the end. I almost wanted the two groups to kind of fire a shot at each other, and that just means it's going to happen at some point. Did you guys feel like this was a letdown, or did you feel like this is just like the calm before the storm? Not the whole episode, just like
the tribal in particular. If we're going to skip to the tribal, I'm finding the tribals, especially this season, no one's talking. No one is saying anything real. It's all just buzzwords and, that survivor talk that we've learned over the last, decades of, well, we'll see what happens. Everyone's doing this and, I don't think anyone feels safe. And, there's always idols out there. And so how can you really feel? And it is like 5 minutes of people saying nothing. And I don't know.
The only person that does is Rizzo. I feel like he, at least maybe last episode, he was like, yeah, no, I think people are going to be surprised tonight. And then,
she straight up says, hey, I knew the vote was going to be split on me and Rizzo. Like, I knew if I didn't win, she just outright says it. And she is being, not a mean girl, but she's being very obnoxious with the fact that she knew and she's thankful that she has immunity. And even then, it's like, yeah, I feel like I would do the same thing. Like, gotcha. But I do agree with you. Like, it does feel like people are just kind of dancing around. And it might be one of those, hey, I'm surrounded by super fans. I know that they know what certain code words mean. Let me just not say anything. So
it's like Rizzo.
Not saying anything.
Yeah. It's like Rizzo, where you say any little thing and he just grabs onto it and is just like exploiting it for everything he can. So it's like, yeah, why would I say anything?
Everyone's learnt. I think that's a little bit of a tragedy of the new school era is that the tribals, everyone's so careful. Everyone's a politician at the tribal, saying a lot without actually saying anything. And because they know it's not a safe space. We've learned this is not a safe environment to air dirty laundry as much as Jeff would like it to be.
Yeah. And obviously I think that by 50, I don't see this happening in 50, mainly because like the old school players that haven't watched anything past season 10 are just going to assume that it's still kind of the same. But it is interesting that the tribals are probably my least favorite thing of the season.
Yeah.
Because that's usually challenges. I just don't. I never care about challenges, so what have you. But in this season, it's like okay, and tribal is only like 8 to 10 minutes, and it feels like it just drags on forever because nothing is actually happening. Now, obviously, I think that will change as the merge continues because we have some really solid players still left in the game. And because of what we talked about earlier, at any point, like Rizzo and Savannah can't both win the season, and there is also a chance that neither of them win the season. So that's always that in the back of our heads of like any moment now, either one of them could get sniped, and it's going to catch everybody that's watching off guard because everyone has this perception that it's going to be them at the end. The optics thing I wanted to talk about earlier. Way back in season 42, we had this moment where, Drea says, hey, I'm kind of trying to not let this happen, this boot order happen the way it is. And in this season, and pretty much every season since that, it has happened exactly like Drea said it usually does. Now, the only reason I would not want Christina, what you brought up earlier, Jake, to happen is that would mean that Christina would have gone right after Alex,
Mm.
And I think that would be right after, which would have been right after,
MC.
It'd be 4 in a row, and it's like, oh man, like obviously these people are not prejudiced or anything. It's just the optics are not great. But that's really my only reason for not wanting that to happen next week.
Yeah, well, I am worried for Christina based on the trailer for next week, based on the fact that now I'm worried about Christina and Steven because they're now a little bit left in the cold, especially Christina, I think. So I am worried for Christina, especially.
About them. Like they have taken Sophie's spot as the people that are not getting much content. Like the only Steven content we got this episode is him spouting out facts and his scene with the chicken, which kind of just felt random. Like it just felt like a commercial break within the episode. It's just, let's talk about this chicken for like
let's be silly for a minute.
Yeah.
I thought Steven was in a really good position episode 8. I even sort of was thinking, you've got the Rizzo half and the Steven half. That was kind of where my mind was at. Less so now, considering he doesn't have enough influence to get everyone voting the same as him. So that perception changed over the next episode.
Is Pluto a planet?
No, it's a dwarf planet. But you know what? I knew every single one of the facts that he spoke. I was like, some another space nerd.
I knew none of those facts, and I was enthralled. But because I think at one point, like during the montage, he says something along the lines of, "If you consider Pluto a planet," and it's like, yeah, but at the beginning you said all the planets, including Pluto, could fit in between the Earth and the Moon. Right, that was the fact. Was that the fact?
Yes. Every planet, can with a long way to spare as well. But I thought he said if you and even Pluto, as in like that's not even a planet.
It's not even a planet, and it can still fit. Overall, as we slowly start to wrap this up, I feel like a lot of the discourse for the season has slowly started to go away. There's always going to be the people that just love to hate New Era Survivor, and that's fine. Let these people do what they're going to do. I do think that this season has definitely, for even like me, who was kind of lukewarm on the pre-merge, have really the season's really come alive for me over the last month, 3 weeks to a month, and it's because of the characters. I feel like we have a lot of solid characters in the season left. I would say that top 4 would be Sage, Savannah, Rizzo, and Soph. And that's not discrediting the other 4, but I feel like those are the 4 that we have seen more of, and people are actually invested in seeing how these people do. Both of y'all have mentioned, hey, I wish that we got more Sage content, but also it's crazy that she hasn't really been thrown out as a potential name. And I hope that it's not her time coming soon, but I obviously can see that happening. Where are y'all at with this season at this point?
I feel good about this season. I think that the way I can sort of see how it's going to play out, I'm sure there's going to be some surprise thrown in there somewhere. But I think I like how this is shaped out. I think that we talked about thinking there was going to be a pagonging, basically. It's funny because we thought that it was going to be Uli pagonging Hina, red pagonging yellow, and then turns out, oh no, Jawan and Sage are flipping, and so then I'm thinking like, oh, that group is just going to pagong Rizzo, Savannah, and Soph, and nope, flip again. MC's gone. Oh, nope. Now Alex is gone. So it's like, oh, now the power is like completely back in the other, group. So I think it's been a really good season. I think there's really good characters. I like it. And there's a chance that maybe it ends or maybe it starts to tail off because we can, at least I feel like I can kind of see how it's starting to shape out, right? But yeah, I'm satisfied with it, especially given that it's, nobody really had that great expectations for it, given it's, right before 50, or at least they were just like, didn't care, like, I don't care if this is the greatest season ever. I'm just waiting for it to pass,
Yeah. Which is ironic because when you look at seasons that come right before All-Star seasons, most of the time they are not as good as I would say, with the exception being Pearl Islands is way better than All-Stars. Anyone that argues with that is crazy. But I do, and the problem is, and Vee, I want to get to your opinion of the season in a second. I just quickly want to say, I don't know what it is with this, like, I love it when I'm watching it, and then when I'm not watching it, it's like, oh, okay, I'll watch it like Thursday, early in the day or whatever. I don't know why, because I am invested in the season. I don't know why I have that mindset when it's not happening right in front of me. But yeah, Vee, what are your thoughts on the season as where we're at right now?
Yeah, I agree. We've had some episodes where it's an obvious boot, but now I'm starting to feel like I'm getting more and more confident in a winner pick. But I do like how it's been sort of, you've had the underdogs turn not underdogs, and then underdogs turn not underdogs. And I think that's kind of cool, more so than any other season. I think it's been more like that. And plus it's just nice. It's been awesome just to, the last few episodes, just watch Riz God.
I don't feel like I have to throw up every time I say that name. Like that's how much he's grown on me that I don't feel that word.
He's actually living up to his own hype, really, and it's been a joy to watch him just succeed. Like, I've got here, Rizzo is targeting Alex, starts a smear campaign, everyone buys it.
Just immediately, yeah, you're right. That guy sucks.
Yeah, Joanne, I think I can't. I'm not even sure exactly who did he vote for. Joanne did actually vote for Alex, but he wasn't sure. He was like, but at no point did he say, "Oh, Rizzo's lying. Rizzo's not
voted for Alex."
Yeah,
not Sophie also voted for Alex. She's gone. She's like with them now.
Yeah, he's compelling enough that they're like, well, I don't think I'll vote with him, but he's clearly right. Even when he's spouting off rubbish, they eat it up with a spoon. And so I just think, I mean, he is my winner pick because I think he's just too good at this stage. Potentially even a winner pick for 50.
For 50, I was just ready to say that.
So impressed.
Imagine pulling a back-to-back.
That would be crazy.
And the name really is like that. Like, and I know we're like fantasy by a few months, and I guess we have the release date for 50. Imagine that storyline of winning and then winning again. You have
the name of
your Russell's losing back to back, but like
he would be the god.
Claimed.
Yeah, it would be insane.
Gabe puts an interesting question. I'm waiting to see who becomes Savannah and Rizzo's last obstacle to the end.
It could be Soph. It could be Soph. It like, because Soph is good with so many people and is playing that Alex game, or the game that Alex wanted to play.
Yeah,
that it could be one of the two of them tries to go after Soph, tries to break that group up, and Soph has more people on her side to say, "Oh, okay, well, if you guys want to turn on me." I think that's if just looking at the cast, I think probably so.
Well, who do you think would be the last man standing other than Soph, Savannah, and Rizzo in that other group? Because I'm assuming Soph, Savannah, and Rizzo are the final three. I'm assuming that's my pick. Who's four?
Steven?
Yeah, I'm going to say Steven. I think Steven, but I'm worried about him.
Because I feel like Sage is going to get clocked as, hey, why haven't we done anything about this? And she's already been lumped with Juwan. Juwan is the exact same, where it's like, okay, well, they're a perceived duo, so maybe both of them go. Christina has an idol that maybe everyone finds out about at some point. Maybe what Jake says happens next week actually happens. And that leaves Steven. And I just feel like Steven, like I mentioned earlier, has kind of just, from what we've been shown, he doesn't get much content. And it's not like, and when he does, it's not
silly content. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jake? Do you think Steven's fourth?
Oh, I could totally see Steven sort of kind of being that like person where it's like, yeah, they haven't really had much control in the game, but like they'll probably win if they make it to the end just because they have so many friends on the jury, you know? And it's like basically his entire, alliance is on the jury, and he was like their leader, even though like he never actually kind of orchestrated anything. My personal opinion, I think that if either Sophie or MC were replaced with Steven in that split tribal, I think it doesn't go that way. I think that they're able to compose themselves and at least flush the idol from Rizzo. I just think that Steven just would have shut that down. He would have been like, no, this isn't happening. Like, what are we doing here, guys? We have the numbers against him. He has an idol. Like, come on. So I think he got screwed by that twist. I think he'd be in such a good spot if, they were able to take out Rizzo there. A lot of what I feel like Steven is probably like, I'm pretty confident in saying that I don't think he wins. Could be wrong, but that's just how I feel. Hot take, guys, crazy hot take. But so I feel like that's probably been like, damn, if that split tribal just would have, if either I was on that beach or if my side would have lost instead, like, oh man,
if only we'd lost. I would have been in such a good position.
Unironically, I feel like that's probably like his biggest like what haunts his nightmares. About no, unless it's the chickens.
The chickens haunt his nightmares.
Quickly, is there an episode? Because so in the States, it's Thanksgiving next Thursday. Is there an episode next Wednesday, or are they taking a week off? So.
I don't think they take weeks off anymore. They used to when the episode was on Thursday, or they would do
that's
true. I think it's still happening.
So we'll have to figure out a different time next week, a different day next week, because Thursday's Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Okay. What is Thanksgiving?
Long story.
Is it like Australia Day?
I don't normally do Thanksgiving. I think I'm. Never mind. But thank you all for continuing to tune in. Like I said, it's been a great season. I'm looking forward. Make sure to subscribe on all the socials and Spotify. Make sure to. I think Mucky's doing Australian Survivor rankings.
Yes, he's doing a lot of Australian Survivor content. So if that's your jam, which I know it's a majority of the people who follow the channel, it is their jam. So make sure you check that out. Always something coming up. Check out the Instagram for more info.
And unless we have anything else to shill, we'll see you guys next week.
Well, bye.